Hello, everyone, to episode 13 of Tampo. My name is HTT Paladin. I'm so excited to be here right now. Let's go around and say hi to our players. Let's go to Latia, who's giving me a very weird look. Hi,
Yeah,
Latia.
the fact that you're just so excited makes me afraid. Hi, everybody. I'm Latia Jaquise, and I'm playing everybody's favorite Mangangaya Ranger, Pilar, who last week got some very interesting family news and is
Did
processing.
she get the news or did she happen to listen to a conversation?
The news was heard by her.
Just saying.
The truths were audible and her ears were open. Yeah, she's processing. So I'm gonna pass it to Manalo, who was technically the arbiter of this news, CB.
Hi, my name is Omega Jones, also known as the Critical Bard, and I am playing Manalo, the Umulaga Dragonborn Grave Robber Rogue, now affiliate of the Maiden of Blood, for reasons yet to be discovered.
Affiliate. When are you gonna get partnered?
Right, we'll find out. Yeah, we'll find out real quick. But yes, had a very important conversation with the Maiden because everybody else was too scared to. That's not true. He just didn't have the fear to begin with. But hey, it's all good. Let's see what happens from there. He's also now fated to come back to her once he's done with these folks. So that's him. I'm gonna pass it over to Daita, aka Lucia.
Oh boy. Hi. I'm Lucia. I'm playing Gaeta, the growing more and more impatient Lola, Black River Barbarian, who also received some family news last session. So we're all just processing, maybe instead of rolling dice, we should all go to therapy together or something. That would be cool.
Never.
But I'm excited. I'm cautious, but excited. Josh.
Hello. My name is Josh. I'm playing Tai, the Gold Gnome Babylon. He's a little old man. He's got a little bird flies around with him named Howdy. It's a real cutie. I've also adopted a chicken. And now maybe a binturong. But I don't take care of either of them. I'm bad with animals. That's me.
Okay. Well, before we get into tonight's episode, I do believe we have some sponsor stuff to talk about.
Right. Yeah. So it's warm in the Pacific Northwest again. So I've decided to compile a list of great summertime activities when it's very hot out. Now this is my grocery list. Sorry. So just got some great ideas for things you could do when it's hot outside. For example, you could go swimming at the pool. You could go to the beach. You could go walk around the mall. You could drink some iced tea. You could eat some ice cream. You could shop at Hit Point Press, the online store. That's a pretty cool thing to do. You could eat some sushi. You could go get some coffee. I like iced coffee. It's really great. You could totally play a game of D&D online with your friends and sit in front of the air conditioning. You could do artwork with the sweat puddles that pool on your floor. You could go drive somewhere that isn't hot, and that would be very nice too. You could even come up with an ad read for Hit Point Press and then request that people go visit the store at Hit Point Press. And you should definitely definitely check that out because I think it's a really good idea. So go to hitpointpress.com. You can get some cool items in the shop, like their big bads. You can buy the deck of many. You can buy the Islands of Sina Una, coming soon to hardcover. It's very, very thrilling. You should definitely check it out for no reason whatsoever, just because it's a great thing to do. That's all I have.
Wow.
You're trying to tell me something, man.
I'm not trying to say anything, Paladin. What are you talking about? Just go buy it from Hit Point Press. That's all. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn, yeah.
Mine isn't as good as that, probably. Though I always say that, and I regret it. But
last week you really just got all of us real good. So honest.
Well, it's cool. Well, I need like 20 seconds to prep this really quickly. So just go with the flow. Just count from 15. How about that? Start now.
17, 5, 38, 17, Q, 45, alphabet.
That's not counting from 15.
13, 1,000.
I hate you.
700,
6.
All
right.
5,
3, 2,
Bow.
2,
1,
1.
0.
The quick change.
Spectacles. This is a poem from Agony called Spectacles. Spectacles. To see, to know, to perceive. Spectacles, glass, eyes, eye within the eye. I will be spectacles. All seeing, all knowing, to see material, ethereal, magical, arcane, magic, explain magic, refrain magic, explain magic, realize, real thoughts, real plots, spell slots, track, spell slots, a lot of dice, nice, dice inside, vault to hide the dice in motion. We need potions to heal, potions to feel with dice. Spectacles, respect, inspect, insects like spectacles. With pride, you feel inside, your heart will rise above it all with spectacles. So do you see? If you shop, you will be part of you and me that makes we, because spectacles. Shop.arcanespectacles.com. Shop.arcanespectacles rom-com. Shop.arcanespectacles. I know a man named Tom Hanks Spanks. And now we say thanks for this poem. This has been Agony with Spectacles. Thank you. And now we turn it over to Idol Champions, though there's not a code at this very second because Spectacles needs a break before she puts the words on the screen. But when they get on the screen, you can use that code to get an Electrum chest from Idle Champions, which is an awesome game that you can play across many different platforms. And it has many different characters from many different actual plays, such as Ukira and Dahani. Who's Dahani? Does she like Dasani? Is she beside the Dahani? I don't know who plays her. Must be a local. But you can go to Idle Champions and get all that because you should. That's me. Take it back.
Sure. All right. So, as a reminder, Sina Una hardcovers are coming out on the 6th of September. That is less than a month away. That is kind of wild. And with all that said, let's get into tonight's episode. Lightning Gravity. The sun begins to rise over the encampment. While some people's sleep might have been interrupted or disturbed or just occupied with conversation, the morning comes, and I do believe that you're cooking.
Yeah. Definitely cooking. I forget exactly what I said. I was cooking at the end of last episode. Probably had some rice.
It was mango rice.
Mango rice. Yeah, that sounds right. Well,
No, that sounds rice.
You're right.
No, I'm rice.
No, you're rice.
Can I give negative inspiration? We'll look
CB.
into that.
Yes.
Cool.
Mango back to sleep.
I'm not giving that a response. I refuse.
I will. One inspiration point to I. That was flawless.
No, that's not how this works. I'm negating that. It's been negated.
Anyways, down here cooking mango rice.
Yes, 100% is what I'm doing.
Who would wake up first of the three of you?
I think that I was already awake because me and I were talking.
Yeah.
Okay, what are you two talking about?
I think we had just talked about what we were going to do after the shrines, because I had found out that Danto was on another island.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'll kind of offer a bowl your direction. You might want more tamarind, but if you want it, I can get more tamarind for you.
Tamarind doesn't go in sticky rice unless you're making it sour.
Well, if you wanted it, you were complaining about it the other day. I just thought.
When it's in a sour soup, but this is different.
Okay. Well, I'll just leave the tamarind here then.
I'll stash it in my bag so that it cannot be added yet.
Okay. And then who would come up first, Manala or Pilar?
Technically, I mean, I would argue Pilar because Manalo just ended his watch going to bed.
Sure.
Not Jess, but you know.
So Pilar, you would be up before Manalo. What do you do?
Let's see. I would have been up because I do the trance thing, so I think when I come to full consciousness, I pretty much do this. I sit and I stare at Sisu, who is wrapped around me because that's what you said.
Yeah, just snoring away.
Yeah. And I process. I'm like, okay, this is news. And then I get up. I extricate myself from Sisu and go follow the smell of food.
Sure. It's not far away because it's in the same encampment, but you can see I cooking away at breakfast.
Right. It's not immediately in front of me, though, so I'm going to go to it.
Morning. Mango rice.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks.
Of course. You could make tea if you'd like something this morning. You're all right. I feel like... Never mind. You look fine.
Tea would be nice. Do I not look fine?
You just don't look like you slept very well.
Technically, I don't sleep.
My mistake.
But I'm fine, thanks.
Okay. I'll have that tea in just a moment.
Thank you.
And eventually, finally, Manalo, you wake up.
He will get up. He doesn't typically sleep, but the fact and that's probably tell if someone has paid attention. You know that Manalo like will sleep unless let me phrase this. He doesn't typically like pass out unless there's a stressful thing that has happened to him or like something like major has happened. Like the last time he really slept was when he had the exhaustion. Otherwise, he sleeps, but not like really. He's always up. So the fact that he did sleep, that's interesting. But he will get up, kind of, come to in a bit, recalibrate the senses a little bit. And he will hear conversation. He will gather his things and begin to head over to the group. And he'll get over and say, I hope you all slept well. I believe we need to continue on to Duyan and assist there however we can.
Sure, man. Mango rice. And point of order, are Manalo's hands still very red?
Manalo's hands are just stark red.
And it goes up almost to his elbows, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I wrote down.
Yeah, it's anti-subtle is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll offer the bowl of rice. You make jam in your sleep?
No, there was something came and I dealt with it. I could not get it all off of my hands, unfortunately.
Oh. Well, if you'd like to borrow my bar of soap.
It is fine. I will get it off when it needs to come off.
Okay.
Now, you sense a tension in Pilar when you give your reasons for why your arms are red.
Noted. And if you have at least a 14 in passive insight, you know that I would say 15 because I have a +5 to my deception. So if you have at least a 15 insight, passive insight, you can tell that was not the truth.
I mean, I was also awake for.
Yeah. Of course. I'm saying in general what he just said. Like, I have an okay deception, but yeah.
No idea.
Valid. Valid. But no, it is fine. Thank you for the meal. Did you all sleep well?
I slept fine. I'm a little worried about what's going on, but it's the forest. It's a night. Did you all sleep all right?
Yep.
As best as possible. Yes.
That's good. Yeah, I slept very well. I had dreamt of swimming across the oceans, and then Harry was dive bombing for fish in the water. It didn't make sense. He's too small for that.
Perhaps there are smaller fish within the water that
Maybe.
Harry
He doesn't even
could grab.
eat fish.
Have you ever asked?
Hey, Harry, do you eat fish?
Hardy looks over at you and nods.
Ah. Never mind. I stand corrected.
Di, when you look away, anybody who's looking at Harry goes,
That's good.
I love this bird.
I do too. It's just always wants to please. Like, I totally do. No. Well, when we are ready to go, we can head towards Dion. But do not rush if your food is good, which I suspect it is. I do not see a necessity and any sort of expeditious retreat.
I ate before you woke up. I'm ready when you are.
Then I will sit down and eat this mango rice.
sure.
Using my hands.
Sure. Let's see, passive perception.
Can I ask a question about Manala's arms?
Yes.
Is it a permanent stain? Like his arms aren't dripping. It's just like a permanent stain to his scales.
His scales just appear red.
Okay.
Going up around his elbow.
Okay. So like it's not like if he like eats mango sticky rice, he's eating blood with his mango sticky rice.
I mean, you don't know.
That's a perception check I don't care to make.
Bless.
Fair. But as you're continuing on with your morning meal, Manalo and Pilar,
What up, homie?
you hear the sound of something crashing, something shaking off in the far distance.
That can't be good.
I hear something
What does it sound
crashing.
like?
And shaking in the far distance.
I hate this.
I'll kill you.
What does
I
it
look
sound
in the
like?
direction.
Yeah.
It sounded like a great breaking of wood.
A great breaking of wood in the sense like a tree just got like snapped in half, or like
Possibly.
I don't trust this.
I don't trust it at all. I'm gonna no. That is the antithesis of what I am trying to accomplish in my own internal self.
I didn't hear it. Could you describe what it sounded like?
So here's what you see, Dai and Gaita. You see Pilar's head kind of like snap up and like look in the direction of the noise, and she says, sounds like something just broke a tree. Or it sounds like a tree broke. Not something broke a tree. It sounds like a tree just fell.
What would do that?
Very good question.
You hear another sound, and it just sounds like something crashing into the ground, shaking it.
Does it sound closer?
Sounds about the same distance away, just far away from you.
Do you think I should go check it out?
Perhaps we should all go. If it is something, hypothetically, that can knock over or break a tree, you might want to not be alone. I will begin to just put away like cooking implements and dishes very quickly.
Okay, but I can be more hidden if I go by myself.
Oh,
I won't go
sure.
far. I'll just go far enough to see what this might be, and then come back.
Sure, that sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so everybody pack up. I'm gonna. Does my fancy cloak thingy have a hood?
It does.
I'm gonna put the hood up, and I'm gonna go.
About 10 seconds after Pilar goes, I'm going to follow stealthily. Let me rephrase that. While they're packing up, I'm going to stealth away from these two and follow Pilar.
Okay.
Because Pilar's not going alone.
Okay. So Pilar, Manala, you're heading off towards the sound. Okay. Aya and Gaito, what are you two doing?
Packing up. We're gonna do this. Manalo, could you? Okay. All right. Well, anyways, could you put that over there, please?
Pilar and Manalo, you start heading towards the sound, and you hear that sound again. Could you both make me a perception check?
I'm doing a stealth though. Can I also roll a stealth?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Same. I'm gonna give you a perception check, but I'm also stealthing, so Pilar doesn't know I'm there.
All right. So that's a 22 perception, and then my stealth.
Let's go.
My stealth is a 16.
16. Okay.
That is a 20 from me perception. I was going to do guidance, but I didn't. And then that is a 25 stealth.
Whatever.
Okay.
I have a plus 10.
Whatever.
I'm a rogue.
You both head into the woods, and you try and place the sound, and you realize the reason why it sounds the way it sounds is because it is miles away.
Oh.
And whatever is making that sound is either striking hard enough or is large enough to be heard miles away.
Don't like that.
Don't like that. And go back.
As you start heading back, you hear more of those same sounds.
I will stay for just a second. Does it seem like anything else in the forest is reacting to this sound?
Yes. As you start heading back towards, you okay there, CB?
I just want everybody to go back to this moment. Just the way he said, yes.
Yes.
I didn't want to say anything, but I was thinking the same thing.
Yes. As you're heading back towards the campsite, you look around you and you see different small game animals, different birds, all fleeing away from the sounds.
I can't see this, but yes.
Yeah, my bad there.
Sure, yeah. I'll notice the footsteps and all that. And then I will get back. I'll try to get back and act like I'm picking up the last of my things. I would just stay the entire time. And then I'll come back over with my pack towards the group.
Oh, Manalo, there you are. Would you hold this bag for me for just a moment?
Sure.
Thank you. Actually, could you put that on the big trug's back? That would be very helpful.
I can attempt to. Can you not do it?
You're just taller than I am. I'm not tall enough. I'd have to climb on something in order to do it. You could just do it, you know.
I understand. And I will head over and put it, whatever it is that I just got handed, I'll put it on the back and secure it somehow.
Okay.
I'll let everybody know. Because he's stealth good enough that I didn't see him going or coming. So when I come back, I say, well, I went out a ways, and whatever is making the noise is either large enough to be heard this far away. It seems like it's miles away, or striking hard enough to be heard.
That sounds like a problem.
What is that large? Or that strong?
I'm sure there are many things out there that exist that can't be.
Is it getting closer?
Did it sound like it was getting closer?
Did not sound like it was getting closer.
No.
How are our animals responding?
They don't look happy right now.
Okay.
Like they're present and they're trained to still like not instantly flee or succumb to fear paralysis, but they are not happy right now.
But they can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had another question. Oh, does it seem like the sound is in the direction of Jian?
Yes.
That's what I was feared of. Cool. Cool. And then I would just say, it would seem as if the sound, if I listen enough, potentially is in the direction we need to go. So we should be careful.
Oh boy. Well, then, I mean, we've got to go that way, so we might as well assist where we can, if it's something that we could assist with. It may pose a threat to the shrine.
Which is something we cannot risk.
Exactly.
I've got some anger to get out anyway.
Why are you angry?
I really was ready to kill Nontog, so the fact that it has now gone along and messed with more things is just wonder where their mother is.
I would assume probably dead.
For
If they
her
have
sake,
one.
I would hope so.
Well, we shouldn't linger any longer, and he will head up onto the animal, and wait for everybody else.
What do the rest of you do?
I go calm down Sisu and tell Sisu to follow the Bentarong.
Sisu.
Sisu is like Sisu isn't panicking. Sisu just doesn't want to be here right now.
Yeah, no, so like I'm not even like I'm not gonna waste a speak with animals for this, but like I go pat Sisu and then I motion to the Bentarong and I'm like, we're going.
Okay. Then I believe you all take off.
Whoosh.
Mm-hmm. You head off into the forest. One moment. Okay.
I would assume, yeah.
Yep. Let me try to do some quick math.
I don't like math.
That's a real shame. Okay. It takes you a little under an hour traveling through the forest at the speed you can move at. And you find that those sounds become louder and louder until Dai and Gaita, you can feel them as well. Even the ground now is starting to shake with each sound. You keep heading further and further, And then you start hearing a secondary crash. Not of something physical crashing, but something... You listen towards it, and you're hearing thunder. As you head forward deeper and deeper into the forests, you come out and look upon this amazing looking valley. You see terraced fields of rice and taro root. You see all kinds of carabao and people here. You see hills, all with people living on the side of them. You see dozens upon hundreds of people and their buildings here. You also see incredibly large, jagged pieces of bark piercing the earth, some of them reaching up 50, 60 feet in height. You see at the city's bay this large caracoa riddled with spikes, people coming out of it to fight people who are trying to defend the beach. You see as well this enormous figure covered in armor, bark and leather. This incredibly large creature is chuckling to itself as it reaches out at one of the fleeing carabao, holds it up, and flings it. The city of Dion is under attack.
That doesn't look good.
So,
What is this creature?
for Latia's clarification, is this an armored Bunisnius?
Yeah.
I knew it was a
Bunisnius!
Bunisnius. I knew it was a Bunisnius.
Do we know what that armor is made out of by chance?
You can tell it isn't. There's like some pieces of wood. There's bits of leather to it. There's lots of bones to it. And at some places, metal.
Cool, thank you.
Yep.
Who would waste that much metal for armor for a Bunisnius?
I don't know. Someone.
Perhaps
Someone?
we should go.
Someone?
As well, over its solitary eye, but leaving its tusked mouth uncovered, is on its face is this large mask. Serpentine.
Ugh.
As people are flocking to try and take down this Bunisnius and try and take down the people at the beach, I'm going to say, Pilar,
Yeah.
you see this. You see coming in from high above the battlefield, one lone rider with one passenger on top of a flying shark.
Does this person look familiar?
The shark itself looks familiar.
The shark has a harpoon sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Round 2, baby!
Let's go.
As this person is traveling overhead, its passenger lifts up its hands to the sky, and you see in the clouds above the small spark of light. And you look down at the ground and you see this small grove of ylang-ylang trees. And you see lightning strike there, catching some of the trees on fire.
Oh no.
What do the four of you do?
Is the one flying on the shark like above us right now, or above the city that we're headed
Above
towards?
the city, heading towards the grove they just set on fire.
Approximately how far away from the city are we?
From the city itself, you're at the very edge of the city.
Okay, so I need some range here, right? Right. I have some long range spells. How far away am I
You are
from
not in range of
the nearest thing?
How far is your farthest spell? Let's go with that.
Let's use 120 feet as a hypothetical number.
Nowhere near in range.
Okay. I will presumably still be on top of the Binturong. Say, do we want to ride the creatures in or leave them here?
About how far are we from the action? Like, if I do like a brief approximation.
You are 400 feet out. So, sorry, you're about 500 feet away from the Nyesnyes.
Okay.
Farther still from the grove,
Okay.
and farther and at the same amount of distance away from the boat. You have a Bintrong you can ride on. You can ride on Sisu. I will say, whoever you help will gain the most benefits. Any place where you aren't will suffer some consequences.
Right, that's to be expected.
Yep. So where do you four go, and how do you get there?
So really quickly, Bunisnius with armor is attacking the city, but Tiburones Rider is attacking the grove that most likely the shrine's at. Yeah, the city's cute and all, but I gotta protect that shrine.
Yeah. Also, the fact. Okay. I'm sorry. The fact that Tiburones is the same Tiburones, like Pilar's kind of got like a hunter's aspect on it, so she's interested, but also, the city.
So, how do you four want to split? I can feel some internal struggles, and I want you to know I'm so happy.
I would like to ride the Binturong near or towards the Flying Shark. Personally, that is what I would like to do.
So, do you want to head towards the grove?
So, well, the issue is this might be a splitting up moment.
Yeah, we might actually split the party.
But we're all on the Binturong, so some of us might be getting off the Binturong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say we're doing something because that's not necessarily the case. I will say Manalo is Grove.
If that's where the shark is, that's also where I am.
I am also Grove.
So, Gaita, where are you going?
I just don't know if I'm going to be that useful at long range.
Sure.
That's true.
So we have 3 people going to the grove.
We have not. She has not decided.
No, I'm just saying. We have at least people going to the grove. So at least one part of this will suffer.
The nature of some D&D.
I don't need an explanation.
No. I'm saying this out loud regardless. Something suffers, but it's not your fault that it suffers. It was happening whether we were there or not.
Right, it was happening whether or not we were there.
Just as a comparison,
Sure.
how big is, like, I know that they're large, but like feet wise, how big is this thing throwing Carabao compared to Gaita?
What do you mean?
Like, if I were to stand next to it, would it be like double my size? Or like more than that?
Nyesnyai are categorically huge creatures.
Okay.
Which means they take up a 15 by 15 foot square on the ground, as opposed to 5 feet of a medium or small creature. So this thing is giant sized.
I'm gonna say, like, I would estimate it at being at least 20 feet tall, at least.
Here's the thing, right? As we're sitting here at this moment, I have something for the flying shark, but I can go to the city. If you, Pilar, believe that you and Manalo can handle the flying shark, and the person on top of the flying shark calling lightning out of the sky yourselves. Because I can fight lightning with lightning.
You could fight lightning with lightning.
I just don't know if I can throw a spear that far.
Well, if we can, like, I know we don't have a lot of time, but like, here's the thing: flying shark and magic user. If we can ground the shark, that makes it a little bit easier. A Bunisnus is large.
Yes.
Because I think those, like, I'm ignoring the Karakoa because I don't think, like, we're not thinking about the Karakoa. We're thinking about the Bunisnus and we're thinking about the Grove. Like, those are, we have made our choice, I think.
By the Grove, is there no one on the ground? It's literally just the flying shark and the person on the flying shark?
The people in the flying shark.
Sure, but there's no one on the ground by the Grove.
Not that you can see from the outside.
Okay. I think I can help with the shark, but I will go to fight the Bunisnus with you, Gaita, if you really want to go there.
How far is the Grove and the shark from the Bunisnus?
From one to the other,
Yeah.
far, you can't tell for certain. You can tell where things are from you, but getting where it is from one to the other requires some level of math. I've given you distances. You can try and figure out from there, but you don't know for certain. Because I think you're trying to ask how fast you can get from point A to B after going to B. And I will say, and it's enough of a distance that it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
When you choose a place to go, that is where you're going to be. And by the time you get from that place to another place, it may already be over. So, where do you want to go?
I don't think I'm going to be very helpful with a flying shark who's calling magic from the sky. I don't understand that.
Then you cover the Bunisnus with the eye.
I can go by myself if I need to.
We don't
I'll
want
take the
you.
chicken.
Don't go by yourself.
Now, there are people around the Bunisnus, though she wouldn't be by herself, just without you.
She would be by herself. Let's be real here.
Dai, where are you going to go?
Gonna look back and forth. Yes,
What did
this
I miss?
is the plan.
Real quick?
Yes,
Where-
Gaita's going to the Bunisnus. You and I, Manalo, are going to the Grove,
Yes.
and Dai is choosing.
Gotcha.
Dai, where do you want to go? There's the Karako, which has no one currently. There's Bunisnus, where Gaita is going, and there's the Grove with Pilar and Manalo.
Oh, the Karakoa is separate from the Bunisnus.
Yes.
Oh, why? You see, I will not be guilted.
No, and I already told him, like, we've made our choice. The Karakoa is not a choice.
A
because it's-
non-motherfucking factor.
Exactly. We are fighting the Bunisnus and the shark, and in what grouping?
Yeah, that's the question. I will go and fight the Bunisnus. I have nothing of value to give you as you go. So I am just going to, as we're going, cast
Do you have aid? Oh,
I'm gonna cast. I'm trying to can I fire a parting shot?
I didn't
before-
think. I was like this. Do I have aid? Has he used it? I don't remember.
I've used aid, but I'm thinking I want to smack the shark with lightning, but it's fine. I will cast aid. Everyone, you get 5 additional hit points, temp hit points, and
I've realized something about us, Josh.
What?
We both have played Babylon, who aren't necessarily the fighting Babylon, but yet always want to fight.
yeah. I'm an old man. I'm sick of shit. I'll do what I want.
Okay, that's valid.
All
right,
everyone has
so-
aid. That's it.
Great.
Wait.
So
I've effed up.
don't succumb to guilt. I just want to confirm. Dai and Gaita, Bunisnus, Pilar, and Manalo to the Grove, and you will take the consequence for the ship.
No, we will not take the consequence for this ship. The consequence will already exist. It won't be on us, though. Yes.
I mean, you think that. You can say that. I'm
I
telling
know.
you
I
right
say
now.
that. I say that out loud.
So the ship is attacking? Like, what is...
At,
I was
if-
focusing on the...
looking
I was
down,
focusing on other
looking
things.
down at the docks, you see the bulk of the city fighting with people coming off of the boat.
Oh, okay.
Could I actually get a perception check since you're looking at it?
Just sure. Oh! 19!
19. Great. Standing on top of the Karakoa, shouting out orders, holding a sword in its hands, is the pale figure of that Tamawa that Nontog took.
Son of a bitch.
Can you pass by the Karakoa
Who?
on the way to the Bunisnis?
The Tamawo is on the Karakoa that we are ignoring.
Oh, the Tamawo that
Non-talk. Yeah.
that they became.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
You're a dick.
Uh-oh.
How close is the Bunisnis to the boat?
To repeat what I said, it is far away enough by the time you finish up your encounter, it may not matter at all.
Maybe we ignore the
Bunisnis.
then.
And go to the Karakoa.
Yeah.
Would you like to further observe the Unisnius?
Sure. You know what? Let's take a second because we literally just got here and started planning. I would like to perceive the Bunisnis, please.
Please roll me a perception check.
I will give them guidance to perceive the Bunisnis.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make this worse and worse.
You can't make it worse because we have a feature that helps us in this situation, Joshua.
23.
23. You see the Bunisnius grab someone and not even throw them, just grab them, pick them up, and slam them into the ground. And as they lift up their hand, you see them pulling away energy from the body. And as they pull it away, the Bunisnius laughs, opens its maw, and swallows that energy.
Lucia, do not talk. Lucia, do not talk for a couple of seconds. Do not talk for a couple of seconds. Okay, you can talk now. Wait, don't talk yet. Shit. Wait. Okay.
I know what you're doing.
Yep. Okay, that's
Is
it.
So the Bunisnius is stealing spirit energy.
From what you can see, yeah.
From what I can see. Oh God. The Bunisnius is stealing spirit energy. Nontog the Tamawo is on the Karakoa. And the Tiburon and my friend, my enemy, the Tiburones, is attacking the Grove.
You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do, Paladin?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch and look at all directions, and I'm going to attempt to understand deeper something that you have given me, or at least I've given myself via a certain affiliate code with a maiden.
Affiliate code.
How much death am I perceiving in any certain way?
Can you make me a survival check? Just to smell the air. Just give it a good sniff.
Do I add anything to this? Do I have
Wisdom.
a plus to it? Oh. Guidance.
I'm even more upset right now that I don't have the
18?
the thing that I took from
18.
that writer.
You smell a great deal of death. It is hidden underneath a foul layer of undeath.
In what direction?
Yes.
I
That's
guess
wind, baby.
I guess I wouldn't know that. Pilar,
Yes.
did you?
Yeah,
tell
you know,
everyone?
I would have said what I am witnessing.
Okay. Does that look familiar to Gaeta in particular, the black
What?
energy from the web captioner be kind? Does it look like whatever the Bunisness is using is familiar to me, Gaeta?
Yes. Every time it pulls up some amount of energy, you see some image of water flowing from the body to the soul, and you see it being snapped. You can tell this thing is tearing souls out of the Black River.
Oh, geez.
So I will ask one last time, and when you answer this, me getting your confirmation, where are you going?
I feel like we're being attacked right now, and I don't like it.
We are.
You're not the city of Dion. Come on, guilt can't get you, right?
This isn't about guilt.
This isn't about
This
guilt.
is about, I don't think we can make an adequate choice right now.
Right, no, Paladin is trying to screw us over.
Oh, no,
We
no,
just
this
have
is
to
what I was
accept
at the
that.
DM
Yeah,
trying to
no.
destroy us right now. I get that. But I'm saying as a player, it is actually very hard to pick a choice right now. Because
Yeah.
I feel like there are consequences that we don't know of and wouldn't necessarily know about, but we're kind of being forced to deal with those consequences. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best case.
I think after additional information from the Bunisnis, if Gaeta still wants to go deal with the Bunisnis, I will also still go to the Bunisnis because this seems like a threat to the spiritual world, which is something I should probably be concerned about.
Okay. Pilar, where are you going?
I am still going to the Grove.
I agree. That's where I'm going.
All right. Understood.
Gaeta, are you still on board for the Bunisnis?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we can do this.
I'm peeved that Nantog is here. Gaeta is really struggling with this right now. But something about seeing someone else use the power that she has to do this is angering her more.
Okay. Then, with that said, could I please get initiative?
Oh my God, finally.
Because, and I'm allowed to do this, because this is something we are prepping for and we know that we're heading into, I'm guiding myself on this initiative. You can't do it because it's an ability check. People don't know that.
You're right. That's a good idea. I'm going to do it too.
I mean, it's the same as like when someone says you get a bonus on saving throws. It applies to death throws too.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it does. I know. I'm
It
watching. I
does.
realize that. Cool.
Okay. So let's go. Pilar, what did you get?
21.
Ooh!
Spicy.
Gaeta, what did you get?
13.
Ooh. Dai?
14.
14. Manalo.
I really want to say I got less than Pilar because it was a really nice roll on their behalf, but I got a 23.
That's okay. No, this is Pilar and Manalo are like this right now. We're like this.
Like you're butting heads, or are you fist bumping?
We're fist bumping.
Fist bumping.
I was just like-
I didn't know what I wanted my hands to do, and so they just did something.
Okay, so then, who is going on the Binturong? Where's the Binturong going?
I think the Binturong should go with y'all.
I agree.
Okay.
And who is going to be who is going to run on Sisu?
Manalo and I will take Sisu.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you split.
Oh boy.
Dai and Gaeta, you hurtled down the different terraces of Dion as Noxakai just jumps from terrace edge to terrace edge, leaping with each one, getting faster and faster momentum, carrying him faster and faster to head towards Bunisnis. And from up on high, you could tell this thing was huge, but now on the ground, nearly just 200 feet away from it. This thing is massive, eclipsing a bit of the sky, its shadow falling across so many people. There are men and women warriors fighting against it, and you see one person in particular shouting orders, doing their best to guide the warriors away from the most harmful of strikes. As the Municipalist raises up one fist and slams it into someone, you can hear just the audible crack of bones. And as the Municipalist raises its hands, you can see plucking from that body, that same energy. Far away, you couldn't hear this, but close up, you hear screaming uninterrupted.
Oof.
As the Bunyisnus laughs and swallows, it turns its head, feeling something, and turns towards you, Gaita.
Moment we're within 120 feet, lightning is hitting him on the top of the head.
When you get that close.
Yeah, but I'm just letting you know.
Yep.
The moment we're within 120 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Zap.
As it turns towards you, its one eye goes almost milky white as it shouts over and says, Gaita. Pilar Manalo.
Yeah.
You are racing on Sisu's back, circling around the valley of Diyan Diyan. You can see Gata and I now looking up at Ulysses, but that is not where your attention is focused. You are looking at this grove of ylang-ylang trees, where a good 300 feet ahead of you, Pilar, you see the Tiburones just dive into the opening. Inside, you hear the crash of magic and weaponry, and as Sisu rounds the corner, you see different attendants trying to put out the fire as the caster that was with the rider is pulling down lightning. But you look at the rider, and a little over a week ago, this person was just a person to you. But looking over at you, the rider laughs, and you realize they're taller than last time. They have more arms than last time. And as I look over at you, you see him pull out just the heaviest spear you've seen in your entire life. This thing wobbles a little bit under its own weight. And
Same
looks over at
rider.
you. Same rider.
Sorry, so he seems bigger. He has more arms and what?
He's got a bigger spear.
And a bigger
Oh.
spear. He looks over at you, and you see that he has a mask on, but it's not covering the lower portion of his face. And you see him just. We didn't take enough last time. And you see his jowls start to extend, and you see fangs grow in. What can you offer now?
My only regret is that I can't kill you with your own spear.
And we're going to take an early break.
Oh no, Paladin!
We're going to take a quick 10-minute break. So stretch your legs, get some water, do what you got to do. We'll be back for really just a fun time overall. So see y'all in 10 minutes. Bye. Hello, welcome back to Tampo, episode 13, Lightning Gravity. Last we left off, the party split up.
Hold on. I just want to say, irrespective of what you named the episode, we split off in the directions of lightning and gravity.
Yeah.
I hate you. I can't stand you.
So let me roll some side initiatives now. And okay. And you are getting, that's not a good number. Those are wonderful numbers.
I don't like them.
I like them, and that's what matters. So we're gonna go off with Manalo and Pilar. In this grove, the trees here have grown thick enough that you can't really go through them without destroying them. They act like a wall, with the only real enter and exits. What are you doing? You know, man. The only real opening here is to either try and go upwards to the treetop or out of the natural gap between the trees. Inside this grove with you all are two kind of attendants who are trying to put out active fires. You also see a woman here dressed in striped red cloth, who is currently counterspelling the one person's magic. And she was being approached as well by the hunter with the spear, who has since turned around along with his Tiburones to look at you, Pilar, and you, Manalo.
I think Pilar dismounts at the opening to the grove.
Mm-hmm.
Are we in initiative or are we just
You
figuring
are
what's
in
happening?
initiative.
Okay.
Okay, so then technically you're first.
I just
Manalo.
wasn't sure, no, I wasn't sure like how this was happening.
Yeah.
So between us and these individuals are trees.
No. Imagine just a wide circle.
Gotcha.
You are at the entrance of it.
Noted.
Mm-hmm. Around here as well are smaller shrines and one larger, massive shrine at the far end.
Okay.
The person who's counterspelling is standing in front of that shrine.
Noted. And is any they don't know it. Okay. Then I will rush forward towards this individual. And I'll just say, this is already a day. Don't make it worse. And I will attempt to hit them with an Eldritch Blast.
Go for it.
Oh, wait. Am I silly?
You
Am
might
I
be.
I might.
I mean, you are, but are you silly about this?
I've only been doing one beam.
Hey, you got two now.
I've been only doing one beam this entire time. I knew something felt weird about that.
You know what it was? We haven't had that many fights because you missed the episode where we went from like 4 to 5 to 6.
I've used it enough though. I should have known that. Oh well. That a dot and 11 hit him.
An 11 does not hit him.
Yeah, that's valid. But a 23 will.
23 will.
Great. That is. I knew something was off about that. 9 points of force damage.
9 points. Okay.
Yep. Excuse me. And then it's just a big open area.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Nothing-
and there's
Nothing
a
to
big
hide behind.
there's a big canopy.
There are some small shrines you can attempt to hide behind, but this isn't a large area, and he is actively looking at you.
No, I get that. Yeah, I mean, but it would be an attempt to do a stealth. But
As well, at the edges of this grove, about 10 feet on all sides, there is waist deep water.
is it fresh?
It's fresh.
I go there. I will go. I will not see the water. I will sense the fluidity past the stagnant, and I will rush around and dive into the water.
Okay. What armor are you wearing right now?
Don't my other one, the better one, the magical one.
Okay. Pilar, you see Manalo shoot off an electric blast as he's running and dives into the water. Manalo, do you want to make a stealth check?
Yes. I'm using my bonus action to hide. I have advantage for this. And they need to make a wisdom saving throw.
DC?
What the hell is my DC? Not high. 14.
Fail.
Oh, Jesus. Yay.
Amazing.
Ooh, that's a 29.
29 damage?
No, sorry. The stealth was 29. I rolled a 19 on the die.
Okay, thank you. I was
Then,
like, oh,
no, the damage is 3d8.
3d8?
No, 3d6. Grabbing the wrong things. 14 points of psychic damage.
Psychic Demogorgon. All right. That brings us over to you, Pilar.
That's me. So yeah, I leave Sisu on the outside of the grove,
Okay.
and I head in. How far away from the main shrine would I be?
From the main shrine, you are a good 70 feet. You are 40 feet away from the hunter.
Okay. The hunter is on the Tiburones.
On the ground.
Oh, on the ground. The
Tiburon is
Tiburones.
right next to him.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna. Where's the magic caster?
The magic caster is 50 feet away from you, behind the hunter.
Okay, so Hunter and Tiburones are standing guard while the magic user wreaks havoc.
Yes.
Got it. I'm going to attack the hunter
Okay.
with I'm going to move up as far as I can, 35 feet, and attack with my sumpit.
Okay. Please roll the hit.
I will roll to hit. I will roll and I will hit.
Yeah, I believe in you.
Does a math is an 18 hit.
18 does in fact hit.
Heck yes, that's 2 18s then.
2 18s? Okay.
Yes, because I rolled twice.
Okay.
And he will be my favored foe. That means I get to deal some extra damage to him.
Yep. Give me that sweet Demoglis.
The Moglies.
Demoglis, yeah. Not that sour Demoglis, that's sweet Demoglis.
That's sweet Demoglies. That is a total of 6, 10, 14 piercing damage and 3 acid damage.
Okay. Your darts hit him once in the shoulder and once on his mask, taking it off. And he laughs and looks back over at you. And all across where his eyes would be, is just one large mouth.
So he's got 2 mouths?
2 mouths, no eyes.
Fun.
It's at the end of your turn.
Yes, I have nothing I can do. Wait a minute. Nothing I can do with a bonus? I will, because it doesn't cost me anything to favor foe. I will bonus action Hail of Thorns.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
No. I've cast it, but I can't use it because I will bonus action Hail of Thorns.
Okay. The hunter slaps the side of his Tiburones and he just calls out, and I don't think you can understand this, but
what language? Well, what does it sound like?
It sounds kind of like, it sounds guttural. Like someone just going, yeah.
Okay.
Manalo, though, you hear this perfectly.
Is it abyssal?
Yes.
I speak Abyssal.
You speak Abyssal? Awesome.
Yes.
Then both of you hear fetch. And the Tiburones circles around and goes into the water.
Don't like that.
Oh no.
What is your stealth check, Manala?
29.
29. Whoa. Manala, you can sense the shark, the Tiburona's in the water looking for you.
Noted.
It doesn't know where you are, but you know it's there for you.
Valid.
The hunter, however, goes towards Pilar.
Mm-hmm.
What is your AC? 16? Thank you.
16, yeah.
He tries to claw at you once, and misses as you push it off with the side of your spear. He attacks once with another claw, and you're able to just dodge completely. But as you rise up, he cuts across you with his spear.
I don't like that.
Let me see here. You have Striker's March now, yeah?
Yeah, I do.
This would activate, I believe.
This would.
Okay, so keep that in mind going forward. As you take
I don't like the way you inflected that.
14 points of damage,
Okay.
and can you make me a strength saving throw?
Strength saving throw, that would be a 14.
14. Okay. You feel just this ringing in your body as he is trying to push you down and away. Be able to hold your ground.
Mm-hmm.
That, however, we're going to shift the camera over.
Yeah. Love this.
Gaita and I. This Bunyisness is looking straight down at you two and at Noxakai. As it looks towards you and turns its body, you hear coming from this this well-armed and heavily tattooed halfling woman who is looking at the two of you to run! What do you two do? It is currently Dai's initiative.
How far away are we?
You are 200 feet away.
How fast can the Binturong move this round?
It can close the distance this round.
Excellent. I am going to cast Call Lightning,
Okay.
holding it for the moment we are at 120 feet
Mm-hmm.
from Bunisnis. And I'm just going to turn to Gaita and say, I think we shouldn't get too close if we can avoid it. Although I know that might cause an issue for you. I'm not getting close. And I'm just holding my spell. I will pump some spirit dice into it when the time comes.
Okay. Are you moving forward with the Binturong?
I will indicate to the Binturong to move forward up to the 120-foot mark.
Okay. It moves up 120 feet.
Okay.
It is moving on your initiative. So
Okay, I just want it. I want to be 120 feet away.
yeah, it moves 120. It moves up 80 feet. You're 120 feet out.
Perfect. Great.
So call lightning.
Call lightning. Let's put 2 spirit dice into that to raise the DC some. I need a dexterity saving throw. And the new DC will be 21.
21. 21. I'll have you know right now that I in no way, shape, or form can make that.
Good. Would you like to roll for it, or shall we just accept it as
Oh
a
no,
must?
I already rolled. Please roll damage.
Very good. Is it stormy or cloudy outside right now?
Yes, it is.
Oh, extra damage then. Very good.
I think Latia just realized something. I can't hear you.
It's stormy, so I was excited about that.
Okay. I mean, so's a spellcaster.
That is 22 points of lightning damage.
22. Is that the end of your turn?
For me, yes, that is the end of my turn. I will
Okay.
be maintaining concentration on Hari, who is currently in the storm, being lightning.
Lightning bird, I love it.
That brings us to Gaita. What are you doing?
Okay. So we're 120 feet out right now.
Correct.
And the Binturong moves on Dai's initiative.
Correct.
Okay.
Now it has because of the oddball rules. I will say that you could move him up further, but that is up to you.
How far can I move it?
How far can you move it? You can move it up to 80 feet, right? You can move up to 120 feet right now.
So he's splitting the movement between you two.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So whatever Dai doesn't use, you can use.
If you're going to move up, I would ask that you kindly kick me off the Vintero.
No, I'm thinking I might get Gaita killed here, but that's okay. Okay. I'm gonna move with the Binturong up until we're 40 feet out
Mm-hmm.
from the big man.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna get off.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna run the rest of my movement up to it.
All right.
And then on the way off, can I smack its little tush and be like, get back out to where you were.
So it does this do back and forth, moving up 40 feet, moving up 80 feet, then moving back away 40 feet.
Okay. Awesome. So I'm gonna do that, and then once I move up, I'm gonna use my bonus action to rage.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna try and hit. So here
Go
we
for
go. I am gonna make them reckless because why not? I feel like he's also probably got it, so that's fine. First one. Ooh boy. That's a 26.
26 hits.
Second one. That's a 17.
17 meets.
Does that hit your rule?
Yeah, it does hit.
Okay. Sweet. I also need him to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. DC.
13.
Pass.
Okay. So I'm just gonna mark off that I used one of those. But
Wait, you said 13?
yes.
Fail.
Okay. So I mean, you know what it does, right? Yeah.
You see as this Municip's eye goes kind of loses focus as the irises and the pupil just dilate and get this milky sheen over them.
That's 25 points of damage.
25. Okay.
Yes.
You hear coming from that same half-flowing woman, you hear her call out to the warriors around her, just throw! And let's see how many hits. You see one volley of spears make their mark on this Spunisnus. And then it looks down at you, Gaita. It's God. It reaches out with one hand and tries to grab you. Your
Okay.
AC is 14?
Yes.
Okay. Natural 20.
Okay.
Let me get my D12s. It feels weird to be using D12s that I got from you to hurt your character. Just throwing that out there.
Fire.
Okay, not bad. 20. Can you please take 27 points of damage? It's
Okay.
bludgeoning, so you take half of your raging. Can you also? You have to try and this. You are currently now grappled.
Mm-hmm.
The escape DC is 17.
Okay.
And from there, it's going to try and bite you.
Don't like that.
Okay.
Okay. It pulls you up toward its mouth and tries to bite down on you. But you, as it's holding onto you, it tries to bite down on you, and you just using your sword, levy it so that when it tries to bite down, it would bite down on the sword as well as you push its mouth away from you.
Sweet.
Since I started with your panabas.
It's as you push it away, it just one of us is swimming. And that is going to be the end of its turn.
Man.
Switching over, Manala, what do you do?
We are like completely submerged underwater right now.
Yes.
And I assume that will make any attacks under here from me a disadvantage, correct?
Not with this armor. If you're trying to attack the shark, no disadvantage. If you're trying to attack the hunter from here, yes, disadvantage.
Oh, so underwater, I don't deal with a bad disadvantage. Interesting. That's new. Okay. Then I will allow myself to float for a second as I steady my aim.
Okay.
Which will give me advantage on this attack roll. It also means I can't move the entire round.
Correct.
And I will take out my blowgun. And attempt to hit this thing. This Tiburonus.
Okay. Now if you're attacking the Tiburonus, you have no disadvantage, so you're going to be attacking with advantage.
Yes.
Okay. Want to make sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm with this thing, and this is going to be bad. Bad news bears.
Mm-hmm.
Bad news bears. Okay. Show me potato salad. Oh. That's crit.
Hell yeah.
And the other
right.
one was a 2.
Nice.
That is 24 plus. Where's my other D6?
Remember, if you're doing sneak attack, the damage doubles as well.
Yeah. So 24 plus 34, 40, 44. 48 points of piercing damage.
48 points. All right. Now, because you attacked, can you make me another stealth check with a minus 1d4 penalty?
What the heck is this roll? I can do that. I can do that, Captain. At advantage. Because I'm in the water.
I can do that.
I can do that, Captain. Oh, those are really nice too. So you said minus a d4?
Minus a d4.
Okay. That's 2. So 28, 26.
Fuck. Your dart hits the Tiburones and just looks around, panicking and angry. It doesn't perceive you.
I cannot be perceived.
Do not perceive me.
Can
Um,
I? Wait. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this to myself. Okay. I'm going to subtract another D4 from this because that's 3. Because in Abyssal, I'm going to speak to the Tiburones and say, I mean, as I'm attacking, so it's like, a little less stealthy. And I'm speaking Abyssal and say, the Maiden of Blood would not like you killing me. That's what I say.
So a -3.
Yep. So it brings it down to a 23.
It looks over at you.
Good.
That is going to bring us over to Pilar. Your turn.
I will say I said that loud enough that if people can hear in the water, they can. If they can't, they can't. But
All right. So the hunter is like right on me, and that puts him further away from the magic user. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Then what I will do?
Oh.
What?
No,
what?
I'm piecing out what you might be doing. Go on, please continue.
What are you talking about? I'm not doing anything. I'm just being nice and kind and a great person and looking up a spell. Give me a second. How far away? How far? So they're more than many feet apart.
Sorry, repeat that.
They're more than many feet apart.
They are more than many feet apart. Yes, correct.
Thanks. Thank you. Oh, that's cool. It's not concentration. I'll remember that for later. I'm gonna stab this hacker twice.
Okay. And what level are you again?
I'm level 6.
Okay. Darn, you don't have lowering strikes yet.
No, that's next level, I think.
It's next level, yes.
So that's 215, so that's 221s to hit.
221s do in fact hit. You hit the
Excellent.
hunter twice.
I do hit the hunter twice. And this is magical damage because I'm hitting him with the boar tusk.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still my favored foe. Amazing. What is with these doubles right now? That is 14, 16 points of piercing damage and 3 acid damage. So 20 damage
overall?
total.
20?
19.
19?
I can count.
I mean, counting's overrated, honestly. Like, counting up hit point, like, counting up damage that you guys do to a creature, it's kind of overrated, right?
No. That's the most important type of counting.
I don't know. It seems overrated to me.
And then with my movement, I will swing around him, but I'm not headed towards the magic user. I'm headed in like into the trees, like at a diagonal.
Okay, are you trying to go into the tree line?
Yeah.
Okay, can you make me an acrobatics?
Sure. Can I ask why? Like, I'm gonna do it, but I'd love to know why.
These trees are especially close-knit. No, you're a ranger.
Yeah.
You slip in easily.
Like, yeah. I slip in through the trees and then I throw my hood up and I'm like, fetch.
All right, can you roll me a stealth check?
Yeah. Does this count as a forest?
This counts as a forest.
25.
25. Oh, mother. Okay, I can do this. I cannot do this. I have a plus 10. I can't do this. The hunter is looking around, trying to see where you are, but he can't place you. You are currently in amongst the ylang-ylang trees. However, the Tiburones goes for Manalo. We pull up the stat block. And it goes to try and bite you. Phenomenal. What is Racy? 16?
16.
All right. I forgot that this thing does a lot of damage.
Valid. Uncanny dodge.
Yeah, that's real good. That's real good. This is using the full Timberona stat block too, so that's real good.
Why would you do that?
You know. There we go. All 4. 6. So with your uncanny dodge, you only take 15 points of damage.
Oof. Cool.
And that is going to bring us down to Dai. What do? You just saw Gaita, your longtime friend, and I guess technically parent-in-law,
Yes.
just jump off of Noxakai and head towards this Bunyasnius, and it's currently in its hand, being held up in the air, and it's currently trying to bite her, but it just can't. You also know enough about Gaita and what she does. You know for a fact that this Bunyas is currently affected by whatever power has a hold of your friend, and currently it can only see her.
Well, that seems problematic. I'm just going to maintain my concentration on Call Lightning and hit it with another lightning bolt.
Okay.
And I'll probably try to angle Noxakai to go around the Bunisnis like a circular motion, if at all
Okay.
possible.
Are you going to cast into spells?
But just the one that I can cast as my action.
Fair enough. So what is the DC to dodge?
It is 15.
15. Okay.
That is cocked.
Fail.
Cool. That is 16 points of lightning damage.
16 points. Okay. I'm real glad that I rolled a natural 1 with a creature who wasn't going to make that save anyways. That said, I rolled a natural 0. What up, CB?
Welcome.
I mean, I watch Wildmount. Let's see here. That is at the end of your turn.
Yes. That is my turn. As I'm just I really hope this works. Zap. I really hope this works. That's all I've got.
Yeah,
That's
just
my
on this
playbook.
rapidly moving Bintrong. I hope this works.
I want
Yeah.
to get off Mr. Noxakai's wild ride.
Yeah. No. Everyone around just hears whoa, whoa. That's it.
Just this flailing gnome on this giant bear cat.
Pretty much.
But that is going to bring us over to Gaita. Gaita, you're currently how tall is a huge sized creature? You're currently in this thing's grip. What do you do?
So I'm grappled, right? But that just makes my movement 0. That doesn't give me. I don't think it gives you any other disadvantages or whatever, right?
I do believe you're grappled, and there's something else to it. Let's see here. You can't benefit from anyone else to your speed. Yeah. And
So it's just my speed, really.
Yeah.
And I'm in the air.
Yeah.
Okay. Then can I attempt to take my my panabas and like stab it into the arm that's holding me to try and give myself like if he were to shake or something, I would have like a point to hold on to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that, which I guess would also be just my hit.
Okay. Also, I just figured it out. This thing is technically not huge size. This thing is technically gargantuan sized.
That's just worse.
Okay.
Yes. It is currently 45 feet tall.
So yeah, I'll do my hit and try and like anchor myself, and then like I guess thematically for my second hit, I'll just try and like dig the panabas further in.
Sure. You know what? I'm gonna say I'm gonna offer you this.
Okay.
If you take disadvantage on both attacks, the second one will do something extra.
Would that even out with reckless to just a straight roll?
It would even out with reckless once. I'm gonna say you can benefit from it once in this special condition for something extra.
Fudge it. So
We have
I'll
the
go-
maturity tag on. We can. Okay.
I know. I'm an
Yeah.
old lady. First one.
Fudge it,
is-
she says, holding a big weapon.
First one is an 18.
18 hits.
That's my straight roll. And then disadvantage. Ooh!
What'd you get?
That's my second one. But the first one hit, so
Yeah.
that's I will do that. Ah, come on, bro. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points of damage for the first one. And then I'll regain my HP.
Okay. How much damage overall?
6.
6?
Yep.
Okay. The Bunisness looks at you and tries to grab onto your upper torso and head with its other hand.
Oh,
Okay.
AC is 14.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it tries to grab onto you and with its free hand, and you just hold your panabas just up in the right way where it tries to grab and you are just slicing into skin and recoils back. In frustration, though, it squeezes with the hand that's already holding you. And attack roll on that is going to hit, which means you're going to be taking. Again, it feels real weird to be rolling damage against using your own dice, but here we are. 22. It's going to be 22 bludgeoning damage. So if you have any having ability, apply that.
Okay.
And again, you hear from down below this halfling woman shouting to fire, but also, you see this. You see her take out two knives and jump onto the Bunisness's leg and start climbing up.
oh, I love her.
And let's see who all hits.
Everyone.
Oh, that's actually more than I thought. Okay. And that'll be Manalo. You are face to face with the Tiburones. What do you do?
I am face to face with this thing. And because I am, I will. You didn't specify, and we should, the thing when I can tell a percentage, what would that be action wise?
This would be just you asking and me just saying.
Great.
Currently, this thing, after the one hit you dealt it, is sitting at, and let's see, the exact phrasing that we are using for this is rounding to the nearest 25% up or down. So after your one hit, it is currently sitting at 75%.
That means this thing has a lot of hit points. All right. All
Actually,
right.
1 second. Yeah, that's 100%. Now, it does mean I can round up if it's closer to 75%.
Yeah. Regardless, that's okay. Then I'm going to. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm gonna take out dagger. I don't want this thing attacking anything else. Sorry. Yeah, I'm going to. Yeah, if you have moved this anything. Yeah, I'm going. It's right here. I'm going to attack it with my dagger.
Now, as you're going to attack it with your dagger, you feel this impulse in you to just shred into it with your hands.
Bet. I was curious. So I will do such a thing. I will look at my I will not look at my hand. I will perceive my hand and I will attempt to strike it with my hand. Is this an unarmed strike?
Yes, in 1 second.
Oh god.
You're learning.
What's your
Because
highest mental stat right now?
My highest mental stat?
Yes.
As a +2. Both wisdom and charisma.
What stat is it?
Both wisdom and charisma. I am based in charisma, but I put those together.
Cool. Message.
Okay. The third sentence is confusing to me. But the question is this a strength attack? Is it I add charisma to it?
You can use charisma in place.
I can use charisma in place. Got it. So this will only be a +5. Okay. That's what I need to know. Okay. Save that. Sure, let's do this. That's cocked, unfortunately. 18 on the die, which makes it a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Okay.
You slam one claw into the shark, into Sabronis. Roll damage, but as you drag your claw across, you can feel your own life force being nourished by what you're inflicting.
13 points of that was max. That was max of the D8.
Okay.
13 points of damage.
13.
And I will use my. Oh, I have 2 claws technically. Bonus action. I will hit it again.
Okay.
That is a 17.
17 hits. 17 hits.
Like, I don't know. This is a big old Tiburon. That is
your target is 16.
See, it's close. 12 points of damage on that one.
12 points. All right. Total of 25 points of damage in this turn.
Okay.
Pilar, you see blood start to appear in the water.
Oh boy.
Can you explain that gain proficiency in health?
Yeah, so what's your proficiency modifier?
What's my what?
What's
Your proficiency modifier.
Plus. Oh, so each time I hit and I attack, I will get that health back.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. So that just healed me 6 points. I'll take that.
That's tasty.
Nice.
Oh, that I was not understanding what it meant. Got it. Cool.
You're proficient in health now.
Right. I was like, what does that mean?
It's like a medicine check, but not.
Right, but not. Cool. Yeah. I will. After I attack, I feel like they just kind of take a moment. Huh. And that is me.
Okay, that brings us over to Pilar. You're in the tree line.
That's me. I am a tree.
What do you do?
I will hold my action to attack. If he regardless, but okay, so here's my question. I want to hold my action to attack, but if he moves closer to the magic caster, can I use my Hail of Thorns?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
You can also just delay your turn.
I don't want to delay my turn.
Super sorry. Take off 6 points of damage because I was adding the wrong number to that.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
It should be +2, not +5.
Actually, no. Here's what I'll do. The magic caster, he's still wreaking havoc over there?
Yes.
Okay. I will attack him first.
With?
Just a straight Simpit dart.
Okay, this is going to have advantage.
18.
18. That hits. Please roll to hit.
All right, so this is just a D8 because he's not my favorite foe. That is still 6 points of damage. And then what does he do?
You see the dart hit him, and he looks around, and he looks like he's trying to remember something. Hold on. You unearthed his spell.
Yes. Did I? Oh no.
You see as he just kind of like grabs real quick in the air and he looks down at his hands. And he looks over at the hunter and shouts out, "She's still here!"
Oh no. I've still got another attack, so perfect. She's still here. I'm gonna attack the hunter.
Okay. Roll to hit.
Does this one have advantage on the hunter?
Please roll me a stealth check.
Sure. That's 22.
He does not perceive you. You have advantage.
That's an 18.
18 hits.
All right. She's still here. That is 11 points of damage to the hunter.
Okay. Are you using Hail of Thorns?
Sure. Let's have him make a dexterity check then.
Okay.
13.
13? I'd like to roll higher right now. This is why I just like using attack rolls a lot, because I can just go through my bad rolls. I do not pass.
Then add 9 points of damage to that.
So how much total?
20.
20, okay.
And then I would like to move.
Where do you move?
Away from where I am. I've got 35 feet.
Okay.
So I half that because I'd like to move stealthily.
Okay, so you just want to move around on the tree line?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The caster who's been in front of the shrine starts laughing as you see now lightning forming in her hands.
Mm-hmm.
And you see her shoot out this bolt of lightning, hitting both the caster in front of her and the hunter.
Wait a minute. The caster hits the hunter?
The person in front of the shrine defending it casts lightning bolt in a line. hitting the caster she was looking at and the hunter.
So there are 3 people here.
There are 3 people here.
Okay, then I did
And
not.
2 are
I-
bad.
2 are bad.
Oh, got you. Okay, so
Yes,
this
yes,
is
yes.
this is the good one. Okay.
Yes. It's not like it's a double cross. No. And now I have to roll too many d6s.
That's good.
I don't know. It just feels like a lot to me. I think I could just roll like 2 d6s and be okay with that, right?
Nah.
I mean, y'all want me to roll less damage.
Yeah, to us, not to our enemies.
I mean, what's the difference, really?
We could die.
That part.
I mean, we all could, technically.
Everyone dies. Everybody burns. Where did that come from?
Where did that come from? Oh, ha, ha, ha,
Good
ha.
line.
Terrible line. Overrated. 9, 14, 26. Okay. The person in front of this caster takes the brunt of it and falls to one knee trying to catch his breath. The hunter gets hit as well.
I'm really glad
and-
that I didn't Hail of Thorns then, because I didn't realize that there was someone defending the shrine.
Yes. They've been spending all of her turns just counterspelling magic that was aimed towards the shrine.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you interrupted the flow. So that brings us over to the eye. What do you do?
Call lightning.
Call lightning? All right.
Yep. And I'm going to ride the bit wrong another, however far, just continuing to move in a circle, trying to stay far away from Venus Knees, just skirting that 120-foot radius.
Okay. DC's 14 or 15?
15.
15, okay. Please roll damage and tell you. Nope.
Yes, Paladin.
I rolled 14 on the die, but I got a -1 dexterity. What are you going to do?
It's,
How much damage?
It's a good question. I feel like I should use these spirit dice I have to do some additional damage.
It'd be real
So
funny
let
if you
me-
put all of them into it.
Well, I can't use all of them. I can use, I think, up to half of them on any given spell. But what if I just put an additional one in there just for funsies? That is 19 points of lightning damage.
19 points of lightning damage. Right on. Anything else with your turn?
How's the Benice Nice looking?
Still upright.
All right. Does the fact that it's wearing metal armor have any effect whatsoever on the fact that it's being struck by lightning? Okay.
It's not enough to count as a lightning rod.
Sure. That's fine. Cool. Just gonna keep hanging out then, and I'll see you next turn.
All right. All right, that brings us over to Gaitza.
Hmm.
Do you want to try doing that thing you were wanting to do beforehand? Of just putting a Panabas in there and just digging away.
I don't know, because I feel like now that I've said that, he's gonna try and drop me, but I don't know how. I'm just going to hit it.
Just going to hit it?
Yeah. Can I maybe, like, because I can't do anything really on my bonus action, could I, like, hold my action until it attempts to bite me again to go directly for its face?
I will say you can like delay. You can delay. What would be the wording here? Delay action until he attempts to use a grinning bite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you can.
Okay. I'm gonna do that because I mean I could hit, but I just feel like maybe I would be better off hitting him somewhere else in the one place I've already stabbed him in the arm.
Sure. Okay. Do you have extra attack or anything like that?
I have 2 attacks per turn.
Okay, so just want to delay your entire attack until after?
Yeah. Just if he moves me in particular, then I'll try and use my action to attack him then.
Okay, sure. He is going to attempt to bite you.
Okay.
So already predetermined. So AC is 14. Now I'm going to offer you one more gambit.
Gambits.
Allow him to have advantage, and you can do something extra.
He would have advantage anyway.
Oh, then I'm going to say let him do additional damage, and you can do something extra.
No, I think we should keep it to advantage. I think that's fair.
No, advantage is already there.
He doesn't know that, though.
What do you want to do, Lucia? Do you want to play this straight, or do you want to make something extra happen?
Ow. If I know that the gambit is coming, do I know how much extra damage it would be?
No, it would be an impromptu decision. You wouldn't know how much damage in addition. So what do you want to do?
No, I won't take it.
Just straight? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now please make your attacks as I roll my damage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the way you cheered.
First one hit.
I cheer at a lot of things.
The
I know.
26 again. And then the second one is a 17.
1 second. You're gonna take do you have bludgeoning damage?
Yeah.
Please take 17 points after having.
Okay.
Now how much damage do you deal?
I did. $16, 18, 19, 20.
20.
Yes, 20 points.
All right.
Nice.
And then I will also regain my healthy points.
So, Gaita,
Yes.
you swing your Pranavas just as hard as you can as this thing bites down on you.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel just the tremendous might of the Black River soaring in your arm and blade as you cut. And you can feel that there is just this rushing river going off of the edge of your blade as you cut through and take off the top of its skull.
Oh,
Okay.
The downside to this is that you're now falling 40 feet.
I mean, I guess I'm just gonna have. But would my danger sense proc because of that?
Would it proc for this? Let me check
Is
real
it?
quick.
Am I just taking the damage, or can I attempt to like roll and do a dex?
You are
I don't
currently
know.
falling. You're currently falling 40 feet. You are currently kind of in the soft grip of this enormous Bunisness. How do you want to react to it?
surf it.
Yeah, can I like try and get on top of like the arm and like up to like a squishy spot before we go down, and then just like try and
The squishiest spot would be its jaw cavity.
wherever I gotta get.
We can't have two Bunisness fights where somebody ends up inside a Bunisness.
I'm not saying in the Bunisness, it's just the jaw cavity.
Yeah, wherever I gotta get to be
Okay.
a little
So
padded.
then I'll let you apply danger sense. Roll dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
With advantage. It is a weird response to a horrendous situation.
That's a 20.
As Venus is falling, you jump into its mouth, and as the thing crashes into the ground, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. You're covered in a smattering of viscera. You are fine. I'm going to offer this.
As I land, I will say, no swimming, just drowning. And I'll take my sword out.
As you say that, you hear just and you feel this trapped energy of the Black River inside this Bunisnius start to flow outward, and some of it into you.
Oh.
I'm going to offer you this, because you are the only one who can do this right now.
Okay.
I will allow you, with this Bunisnius dead, to ride Naxakai to the Karakoa. Real quick, you cannot stop for Gaita. You can't take anybody with you. It's now or never do you go to the Karakoa.
She's only 120 feet away from me. It would take one extra round to get her.
She's farther than 120 feet with how far the Bunisnius fell.
How tall is it?
Josh?
Like, just in terms of physics.
In terms of physics, she is currently 250 feet away.
You're just being a dick, but okay.
The boat is currently 900. The sooner you get there, you can make a difference, but if you go towards Gaita and then do back, that adds more time and would make risks higher. So, you know, I will let you go to get Gaita, but things may worsen.
Do it.
I feel like I should do that. I feel like I should probably. If I don't, like, just family dinners for the rest of forever are just going to be god awful.
You rush over, and you see Gaita slick with blood. Gaita, do you hop onto Naxakai?
Yeah, if I can.
Sure. And the two of you start heading towards the Karakoa. We're going to jump over to Manalo.
Oh.
This is the best split combat I've ever been in.
Right.
Oh, thank you. What do you do, Manalo? This thing has tried to bite. The last one tried to bite you, didn't hit at all, which is why I didn't say anything about its turn, actually, I realize. But what do you do on your turn?
He will continue to fight this Tiburones so it doesn't deal with anything else, because that's kind of the best thing he can do right now. However, I will be nice, and I shouldn't, but I'm going to be. I don't think the Tiburones took a turn last time.
Oh, it did. It tried to bite you. It missed horribly, which is why I didn't say anything.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah, no.
cool.
Don't worry about being nice. I'm trying to be mean, and I couldn't.
Valid. Okay, then you don't get clapped up real quick by these two bloody claws. Say hello to my little friends. This is going to be, since I'm not moving, a legit question for this part though.
Sure.
Since they're like, I can do offhand, whatever, do my claws now count as like finesse as well as far as sneak attack goes, or no?
No, because they're not like naturally sharp claws. They have some points to them. What is happening is as you strike, there's a guided eldritch edge to them. So they do not count as finesse.
Okay. That means they don't synergize with my rogue stuff.
Mean. It's what happens when you affiliate with other companies.
Don't get mad because you're connected to the affiliation.
Look, I'm just mad they haven't hit me up for my activation, okay?
You get the family and friends code. You don't get an activation. Anywho,
You're not getting actually paid. You just get like a referral code.
Yep. Okay. Then I'm just gonna hit it again. I mean, it's here. Fucking wasting potential damage though. Not to like be a damage person, but I'm a rogue. I have to be. This thing is fast too underwater. There's no point for me to. Okay, fuck it.
It's actually slower in the water.
What?
It has a 60-foot fly speed and a swim speed of 40.
It's still faster than me. So I'm going to hit it once for sure. That's a 20 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
For 4 points of damage.
Okay.
I'm going to cunning action disengage. No. Yes. Yeah, I'm a disengage and just use my movement to just get some distance in between us.
Okay.
Can it make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Poorly. What's the DC?
14.
13, so I failed.
Okay. Okay. 15 points of psychic damage.
15 points. Okay.
Yeah. That's me. Actually, what I do is I pop out of the water really quickly, just to see to like notate what's happening above. I hear lots of cacophony, and then I go back down.
Fair. For your sake, Manalo, 25%.
Noted.
For your sake, for the two people as well, 25%, 25%, 25%.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay. When I come up and I get like scan really quickly, in that moment, I go, I believe they're almost dead. Continue. Go back down.
Thank you, crocodile of the moat.
Pop back up. You're welcome. Back down.
All right, that brings us over to Pilar. What do you do?
All right, give me some distances. Where's our defender in relation to the bad caster and the hunter?
The bad caster is 10 feet away from your caster.
Okay.
The hunter is 25 feet away from the bad caster. So boop, boop, boop.
Yep. Boop, boop, boop. Cool. I wasn't attacked, so my speed is still what it was. And so I'm gonna... Yeah, let's just do it again. I'm gonna bonus action Hail of Thorns.
Okay.
I'm gonna attack the caster, the bad caster first.
Okay.
And I am hidden.
So advantage.
Yeah, that's a 23 to hit.
Hits.
I will not use Hail of Thorns on the caster.
Would be really funny.
It would be really funny, but I'm not gonna.
Okay.
All right, that's 7 points of damage to the caster.
Okay.
How they looking?
Still upright.
Okay, still upright. And then Hail of Thorns, the hunter.
Okay. Roll the hit.
Advantage still or no?
Roll me a self check. Never mind.
Okay, advantage.
I guarantee he's not going to see you. I don't know why he's feeling at this moment.
Cool.
What'd you get?
Hey, Paladin, guess what?
Did you get a natural 20?
I sure did.
Get out of here. Get lost.
No.
Run into the
No.
woods. Run into a
Mm-mm.
lake.
No, sorry. So I start off at 10, 8, 4. I start off at 22.
Okay.
Then not you, and you. I start off at 22, and then it becomes 32, 34 plus 3, 37, and 3 acid. No, and 1 acid.
1 acid?
Mm-hmm.
You're attacking with your Sumpit?
Yeah.
Your Sumpit goes, as he's looking around shouting, your Sumpit hits the front of the top of his skull, going through his throat, going through his heart.
Hey.
He falls over, not even having a moment to sputter for air.
Then I'd like to. No, I won't come out of the trees, but I will say, in common, you should run.
The caster holds his hands wide and collapses it. And let me pull up this spell. I realize that none of us on stream have used this spell, much to my chagrin, but you know what? It's fine.
Spell is this? I want to see.
You see them collapse the spell inwards, and you see as all these tattoos on their arms that have been painted over as kind of like a disgracing of them flare up. And Pilar, can I get just an Arcana check from you?
Sure. This is interesting. Another natural 20.
They're pumping meta magic sorcery points into Ride Lightning.
Wow. Okay.
And you see them turn around and just fling, and from their hand comes out this lightning bolt that is going farther than it should. And
yeah, I didn't get to use it last season.
no, well, you were a wizard.
I got a scroll of it though. I acquired a scroll of it.
Oh, Ride Lightning?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite spells from this book. But let me see how much distance I actually get with this, because I might not get enough. And let's see here. Okay, cool. You see him just blow away to 270 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, you see just these horrific wings made of wood kind of bloodily erupt from his back.
Ugh.
And is carrying him farther still.
Okay.
The shark in the water, the Tiburones, looks up at you, Manalo, and looks around and has this vacant look in its eyes.
Oh no.
So really quickly, I apologize. Who did Pilar kill?
Pilar just killed the hunter.
The one that was riding the Tiburones.
Yes.
And then the caster dipped.
Correct.
Okay.
The Tiburon is looking around, just really confused.
In Abyssal, I say, you will die if you stay.
It is just looking around, not really knowing where it is. It looks at you and just stares.
Wait. Do you know where you are?
Continues to just look around. Jumping over to Ai and Gaita. You are crossing this distance of grass and blood and wood, and generally just a lot of care about corpses. Hurtling on Naxakai towards the Karakoa, where you see that there's less of a battle here and more of trying to prevent collection. You see as there are dozens of people behind this front line dragging corpses of villagers onto the Karakoa.
How many turns did it take to get to this point?
You are currently, it has currently been one turn. You are just moving incredibly fast, double movement on Naxakai.
Okay, cool. During that turn, while we were traveling, I would take a moment just to like turn and heal Gaita a little bit. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level, just for a little HP.
Okay. As you're just moving across this distance, you see the Tamawo from Baga looking at all of you and laughing as you see the mask he's wearing is that of a spider. And he's laughing as he stands at the very crest of his ship as his people are dragging more and more corpses onto it, much to the screams and woes of the warriors of the village down below. As you see him just bring out this mote of fire and crush it in his hands, and like someone would be spurting sand, just throws the magic around, and coming in between the direct path of you and the boat is a wall of lava.
Rude.
Gaita, you healed 25 hit points, by the way.
Thank you.
This volcanic wall is, let's see here. Da-da. Okay. Let's see on the actual wideness of it.
It's super short. You can just jump over it.
Yeah.
It's easy.
1 foot by 1 foot.
Composed of 10 by 10 foot panels.
Okay.
There is, on either side going from you, there is just 40, sorry, you're in the dead center, 50 feet of lava walls on either side going left to right.
Sure. How far away are we from Nantog as we approach?
You are currently still, I want to say, around 500 feet away, even with the distance you've traveled.
Okay,
There's
so
now
the wall's got to be close to him, right?
Yeah, it's only 120 feet away from the boat.
Okay.
But it is currently blocking your direct sight to the villagers and the warriors, and is also keeping them kind of stuck there. They
Wait,
can't make a direct retreat.
Non-Tog cast that wall of fire? Wall of lava?
Non-Tog cast that wall of fire.
You son of a fuck ass.
See me just making up for all the times that Lucia says fudge.
I'm sorry. I've been teaching Manalo swears in our downtime.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So Ai and Gaita, what do you two do?
Do you want to go through it, or do you want to go around it? Or do you want to try to jump over it? I feel like Naxakai could jump over it, right?
Or it could launch me.
I could do that too.
Not jump the distance. You'll have to toss me.
I think it's worth it. I think I just have to get on the other side of that wall and everything's going to be great. So I think we can do it.
So, just for clarification, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a wall on the boat.
It is a wall on the beach.
Okay. But, like, you could still, like, just maneuver on the other side of it,
you would be
right?
going into the ocean, dealing with having to go through water, which would slow you down.
Okay. How... You said they were 10 feet tall?
10 feet tall.
Easily
How-
jumped over.
How big is our Binturong?
Large sized.
do we physically think he could make it?
I do.
I firmly believe that a Binturong could jump over it. With how fast it can move, it just needs a running jump. It's just an easy hurdle. You just move something absurd like 400 feet in a round. If you believe that it cannot jump 11 feet off the ground, you are mistaken.
I mean, I'm down because either way,
I'm half a
Gaita's-
person.
Gaita's getting over this wall.
We can jump.
Yeah. We could also do that. Like, we could ride up and then have the Binturong launch us over.
Do you jump?
I think yes. I think we're gonna go and we're gonna jump.
Really quick, before we get there,
Yeah.
is it possible for me to have the incense that I have in my hand, like, and then like a little light ready to go in my other hand before we jump?
Yes.
Okay.
You're talking about the incense?
Yeah.
Nonsense, actually.
As you are running towards it, you command Noxkai to jump, and at the angle he's going at, he jumps, and you're clearing 5, 10, 15 feet. You spot on the ship someone dressed in a similar way to the caster who was on top of the Tiburones.
Oh.
And you
Okay.
and as you're in the air, they hold out a mote of flame,
How dare they?
crush it in their hand, and spin upwards.
Rude.
There is a 120-foot wall of lava that you are hurtling into.
What do you mean hurtling into, right?
He
Right.
made it, instead of making it horizontal, he made it vertical.
So they recast the spell.
There is someone else who cast as well.
So there's a second spell.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. As we get close, I would just like to hold Dispel Magic and just cast Dispel Magic at the one that we're running towards. So just when I get within 30 feet of it, just Dispel.
Can you roll for that, please?
Yeah, sure. What do you
Roll
want me to
up.
roll for it? Just an Arcana check?
Let me pull up Dispel Magic. It is only... So any spell of third level or lower on the target ends. But at base, Volcanic Wall is a 5th level spell.
Okay, so I need to beat a 15.
You need to beat 10 plus the spell's level.
So a
Yeah,
15.
15.
If it's a 15, it can be upcast.
You're right. Dang it.
Sure.
Do it.
So you need to make a ability check using your spell casting ability.
Okay. Rules is written. I cannot add spirit dice to an ability check, but I can to a spell attack. Could we say that this is like a spell attack and I could add a spirit dice?
It's saying check specifically.
Okay. That's fair. That's fine. 16.
16, you hold it in your hand and you throw Dispel Magic, and it hits the wall, and you feel it resisting for a moment before it dissipates and disappears.
Yes.
Noxkai lands on the other side of the wall of lava, just behind the warrior line.
Awesome.
You okay there, Lucia?
Didn't know. I was fully preparing for having to explain to Jada what happened to his Binturong.
Now we're fine.
Not even
so
herself.
worried.
As you
Awesome.
land, you see that Non-Tog is holding out in front of him a portal that the ship is currently moving into. What do the two of you do?
How big of a portal?
Big enough to carry this massively oversized Karakoa.
Okay.
We can? Is this a moment like to take actions, or like what are we looking at? Are we back into initiative at this moment after kind of doing like a loose initiative?
You have a turn right now. What do you want to do with that turn? You see a bunch of people trying to drag corpses up onto the ship itself. You have some people trying to get past that front line. What do you do?
I've maintained concentration on Call Lightning. It's a 10-minute duration.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cast Call Lightning on Non-Tog and anyone within that radius. I think it's AoE. Each creature within 5 feet. So I'm centering it on Non-Tog, but anyone within 5 feet of Non-Tog also has to make the dexterity saving throw.
DC?
I'm going to put some spirit dice in that. So let me tell you let me tell you what the DC is, because I've still got a couple of spirit dice hanging out.
All right, go for it.
Okay. DC is 18.
18. Okay. Please roll damage.
Sure, it's still stormy and cloudy outside, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, thank you. That's disappointing. $12 points of lightning damage.
You strike. You hit the place where Non-Tog is, and it crashes into just the side of his head. And it looks back over at you, and with this spell. You have created this large, just scar across his head, just going from his eye to his jaw.
Cool. How's that concentration check on spell casting?
What concentration? He's not casting a concentration spell.
Mm-hmm.
The person next to him takes damage. What also takes damage is the strut of one of the supports to his ship,
Oh.
where you see a plethora of bodies stored. Gaita, what do you do with one turn?
Could I work in tandem with the eye's turn
Mm-hmm.
and first release my hand and like throw the incense down at the same time that the lightning is called to spark it?
Make a range attack roll at proficiency and dexterity modifier.
Plus proficiency and what?
Mm-hmm. Dexterity modifier.
Okay. 18.
18. Okay. Let me roll damage.
Excuse me. I'm stressed, y'all.
Your incense gunpowder goes off, and it does two things. One, it takes off a section of the ship's hull, and
Awesome.
and finishes tearing off the support boat on the side. This
Okay.
causes the people who are on the ramp going up to the ship to fall into the water as well, as the ship continues forward into the gate.
Well,
Hold on.
so, okay.
The other thing that happens,
Mhm.
as the hull falls away, you don't see emptiness inside the boat. You see this wall of flesh.
Ugh.
So what do? You use your attack action.
So really quick. We know from when we were investigating the incense that it wasn't actually gunpowder, and that when it was lit for Pilar, it took away spell slots.
Yes.
Does it seem to have done that to stop the spell?
It didn't hit the spell. It hit what was holding the boat together.
Okay.
The boat continues forward, and you see one person who has been giving orders to the people here take one spear out and hurls it. And as they hurl it, you see their tattoos flash white with power as they hurl the spear, and you see it hit the side of the vessel, and you see blood spilling out of it as it continues through the gate.
Okay. Can I attempt to jump off, grab Nontog, and jump off the side of the ship?
You mean Nontog, who's currently 60 feet above the ground? Who I gave you one turn. You've used your turn.
Mm-hmm.
The boat is going forward.
Okay.
The gate closes behind them, and the warriors descend on the people who were on Nontog's boat, killing the rest of them off.
Neat.
What do you two do?
Suppose I'll try to heal anyone who's been hurt, perhaps. Might be able to bring some people back from close to death.
There's lots. You go around healing. Gaita, what do you want to do?
So, just to clarify, because I think I was a little confused.
Sure.
We're on the beach, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then okay, got it. Okay.
Yes.
I thought they landed on the boat too.
I thought we were on the boat.
No.
Okay, that's fine. Dang. So everyone who was with Nontog, they're like being picked off.
People who were on the ramp or still fighting are being picked off.
Okay. People who were with Nontog, I'm gonna start bringing them to the water.
Yeah.
Just, as a caution.
Sure.
Um,
You start giving them rights, forcefully sending their very contentious spirits off. They're sometimes hard to reach out to, but you force them each down the Black River where they cannot return. Pilar and Manalo, what are you two doing? There's the woman who's still here who is kind of trying to catch her breath right now.
Manala, since you're first in initiative, you can go first.
I see this Tiburones, and I am empathizing with the Tiburones being frightened and confused. And I would like to, make sure my body language does not read as enemy, but also does not read as weak. And I would like to attempt to get closer to this Tiburones and calm it down.
Okay. Please roll me an animal handling check.
Guidance.
Wait, this wouldn't be animal handling because it's not an animal.
Isn't it technically a shark?
It is technically a monstrosity.
Valid.
So can you please make me I'm going to say either an intimidation to assert your presence or persuasion check to assert camaraderie.
Oh, those are two different things.
Yes, they are.
But I want it to be friend. I don't want it to feel like I'm its master.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, that's CB saying that. What would Manalo say? No, I want this to be friend. I don't want this to be
Fish are friends.
Exactly.
Not food.
I'm adding guidance to this regardless.
Yep.
I would try to do that. All right. That's a 19 in a die. Plus 2 is 21. Plus 4 is 25.
You see just this layer of magic start to seep away from their body as they approach you. They're getting smaller in size. But coming up against you, it sniffs your palm and reaches out, and it looks like it's going to bite your arm, but you can see its teeth have been retracted, so it's just kind of like gumming your arm.
I will let it for a second. Kind of confused, but the other hand will like touch the top and like I'm like imitating what I see the other three do with the current menagerie of zoology we have right now.
Menagerie of zoology.
Menagerie-ology. As the combat of Dion starts to die down.
Wait, I didn't get to say anything.
Sorry, what do you do?
I go to heal the caster.
You can see her healing herself slowly.
I'm still gonna do it.
Okay, go for it.
Like, okay. So here's how it goes. So,
How does it go?
tiger-like, Pilar emerges from the trees and walks up to the caster and is like, "Do you need assistance?"
She takes a moment and collects herself and straightens out her attire and looks over at you, and you can see that her wounds have been healed.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm okay. I'm fine. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad to meet you. Hi. I am Babaylan Salong.
Oh, hello, Babaylan. My name is Pilar. We are here to stop them from doing that thing that they did.
It's a very good job you're doing. And at that, we're going to end the session.
Oh my God.
So we can breathe. Hello.
Wow.
Hi, everyone. My name is HD Paladin. I've been your DM of the evening. Let's go around and say hello to our players once more. Let's start with Joshua.
Hello, that is my name. I'm Josh. I am a freelance tabletop game designer. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch and the assistant director of Ambassadors of Jasper's Game Day. Also take this ambassador because mental health is important in all areas of life. You can find me on all social media platforms at Joshua M. Simons. I've got some cool stuff out that you could purchase and play at your D&D table if you wanted to, hypothetically. Join me on Monday when Lucia and I, you'll get to know more about Lucia in a moment, we paint minis. Join me on Sunday when I probably play Stardew Valley. Other nonsense. That's me. I'm going to toss it to Latia.
Hi, it me. This is the coolest I have ever been and the coolest I will ever be. And you can find me everywhere at Latia Jacquis, except for the places that I'm not. I'm the community relations coordinator for Monty Cook Games. We just wrapped up a Kickstarter for Stealing Stories for the Devil plus 2 games. It's really awesome, and I can't wait for everybody to see it. I'm going to run a heck of a lot more games for it, but that's not what I'm here about. I'm also a variety streamer, and depending on how I feel in about half an hour, I may be smooching more swords at 10 o'clock. So come over to my channel and smooch swords with me. Other than that, you also know me as Dahani from Rivals of Waterdeep. We're on mid-season break. We're on like post-season break right now, but we will be coming back soon. Other than that, I exist, and come hang out with me on Twitter and exist with me. Yay! Lucia.
Hi, I'm Lucia, also known as Your Sword, all over the internet. That's where you can find me. Twitter is my most active place. I post there the most. I would post there first because it's the easiest platform to use. So find me there mostly. I run a little store where I sell witchy inspired candles. I sell dice. I just put up some new stock dice today. They're blue and they have little flowers in them. They're cute and I like them. And I picked them just for my shop because, you know, they're stock dice, but they're my stock dice. I picked them because I like them. Otherwise, I sell my own designs as well, pins, all that kind of stuff over on my store. And like Josh was saying, I'm over on his channel every week making abominations, really. I've been calling them girlfriends, and they're dateable, they're dangerous, but they are abominations at the core of it. Yeah, that's me. I'm making that thing in the background on my Twitter if you want to check that out, and I'll probably have a video out on it once it's done. So that's me. Thank you so much for watching me stress this whole time. CB.
And I'm Omega Jones, also known as the Critical Bard across all social media channels. I do too much. I'm an active vocalist, hotness incarnate. You can catch me tomorrow on my channel at 1:30 Pacific time for Let's Get Wild Mount Season 2, Episode 2. We just dealt with a lot of stuff, and I think we're still dealing with it. I don't remember, but it's scary. But that's great. If you want to see me play another once dead individual with memory issues, but he can see this time. He just is he's a lot more dead. Anywho, what else? On Sunday you can catch me DMing for Dungeons and Durags over on twitch.tv/INDG, also at 1:30 Pacific time. And lots of other stuff. Just stay tuned. Yeah, that's me.
I guess that brings it back to me again. Hi, I'm HD Paladin, otherwise known as Paladin. You can find me on Twitter. Don't find me on Instagram. I don't do anything there. I'm been your DM of the night. God, I can speak English. I make TTRPG books and I do some streaming. You can catch me on Twitter talking about just various nonsense in our industry and shitposting. A lot of shitposting.
So much shitposting.
So much shitposting. And when I'm not doing that, I'm just making more books for people to use.
Girl like Cascade Boss Keep.
I don't see a printout of that, Latia, and I'm very disappointed in you.
Look, it's there. It's over there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Anywho, thank y'all for so much for being here. We're gonna go raid Mermaid Royal, and we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.